me to do?
I expect you to get the work done.
We're doing the best we can, and you know that we're short-handed.
Jane, our clients don't care about your staffing problems. They care about their training programs.
They might also care about that junk we've been foisting off as creativity.
Yeah? Well, if Wes would get us a real budget once in a while, then maybe we'd have something to work with.
Oh, yeah, especially when you show up after. You're late for every meeting we have.
What do you want to do?
I don't know. I couldn't quite figure out where the wheels had come off. Everywhere I turned, there was yet another perplexing problem. We were miserable. We were ineffective. I just kept asking myself, why can't we get anything done? And somehow, that question led to other questions. To the core questions like, why am I doing this? And what are we really trying to accomplish? Perhaps most importantly, what do my people need from me? As my car climbed the Main Street hill through the canyon of the towering Liberty Memorial and the elegant angles of the Weston Crown Center, I remembered a quote from Edison or Einstein or somebody. It said, "You can't solve the problem with the same level of thinking that created the problem." I knew I needed some new ideas. So I visited successful companies and talked to a lot of smart people. Most importantly, I listened. And while I don't pretend to have all the answers, I think what I discovered could be important to you and your career. When he was president of the American Management Association, Lawrence Apley made a series of films that defined management as getting things done through other people. Certainly, getting things done through other people is a significant component of management. However, that definition is dangerously one-dimensional. It reflects the goals of the organization, but totally ignores the concerns of the people who do the work.
They just don't seem to understand. I have a life.
In today's environment, there's a much more productive way to understand the essence of management. Management is the process of working with and through other people to accomplish the goals of the organization and its members. In his remarkable book entitled Servant Leadership, Robert Greenleaf reinforces the idea that management is about the work and about the worker when he says, "The work exists for the person as much as the person exists for the work." As you approach your management responsibilities, you must be constantly mindful that effective management is concerned with the goals of the workforce as well as the goals of the organization. When you demonstrate your commitment to improving the lives of the people you manage, they will demonstrate a commitment to you and the goals you're trying to achieve. Managers are ultimately judged by two criteria. The first criterion is the productivity of the manager's work group. Bottom line, how much work gets done and what is the quality of that work. The second criterion is about the people. Are they learning and growing and becoming more valuable to the organization? And just as importantly, how long are they staying? Turnover is crippling to productivity and it's expensive.
My managers need to focus on two things: productivity and people.
There is a very simple reason why managers are judged by these criteria. It's called profit. When productivity is high and turnover is low, profit soars. Now, here's something you may not have fully considered. Managers wield tremendous influence on both productivity and turnover. According to research reported in the book First Break All the Rules, it is her relationship with her immediate manager that will determine how long she stays and how productive she is while she's there. As a manager, you have great influence and great leverage. You are central to the success of your organization.
Look, you just gotta face it. Success or failure is primarily in the hands of supervisors or managers.
At the end of the day, every manager needs to produce two distinct results. First, we need to make sure some work gets done. Whether that work is manufacturing widgets or crunching numbers or making sales, it's our responsibility to organize our people and our resources to get our assigned objectives accomplished. Second, we need to tend to the satisfaction and growth of each of our direct reports, because employee satisfaction and growth have important bottom line benefits. To help our associates grow and experience satisfaction at work, we must recognize a remarkable paradox. Each of us has a profound need to be unique and an equally profound need for a union with something greater than ourselves. Sometimes managers think satisfaction is primarily about money or prestige, and without a doubt, money and prestige play a role. But as Tom Morris said in his book, True Success, the desire to have, to acquire and possess is in principle insatiable and rarely generates the sense of fulfillment and happiness it promises. By contrast, only the desire to do, to produce, and to contribute yield the true sense of satisfaction we all deeply need.
Yeah, I need to make a living, but I can do that any place. It's about how this place makes me feel.
Several years ago, my friend Bill Hansen was managing a kids' baseball team in my hometown of Kansas City. August is hot and humid in Kansas City. And in the late innings of a crucial game, Bill suffered heat exhaustion and collapsed on the bench. When Bill regained consciousness, he saw that his team had scored to take the lead. Bill grinned and said, "Great managing." Which brings us to a question. If you stayed home from work tomorrow, but all of your direct reports showed up as scheduled, how much of the work that is supposed to get done would get done? Now, let's turn that question around. If you went to work as scheduled, but all your team stayed home, how much of the work that is supposed to get done would get done? Your answers to those questions should make it clear that you need them more than they need you, and that your time is best invested in clearing the obstacles and providing the support your people need to get the job done. Robert Noyce, founder of tech giant Intel, said it well. The job of the manager is enabling. Noyce believed that managers should be concerned with getting the barriers out of the way so people could do the things they do well. How productive your people are and how long they stay with your company depends largely on how you support them in their jobs. If you've been a manager for more than 20 minutes, you know that. Anyone who's ever managed knows the manager-employee relationship is crucial. But what hasn't been so clear is what the manager needs to do, specifically to create and enhance a relationship that leads to productivity.
Maybe she doesn't know what I need. Maybe she doesn't care. Whatever, but she sure isn't helping.
With dozens of urgent issues, where should the manager focus her time and attention? Research and the practical experience of successful managers the world over reveal 4 actions you can take to get the very best from your people. These 4 activities are as simple as they are profound. They are the core activities of all great managers and the foundation of every high-performance workplace. Number 1, communicate explicit expectations. 2, provide the information and resources to do the job right. 3, measure, recognize, and celebrate. 4, show you care by encouraging growth. One of the most important lessons I've learned as a manager is that great achievement is always preceded by great expectation. Great expectation has 3 components. First, great expectation clearly communicates the specific results you're looking for. Second, great expectation is tailored to the skills and abilities of the individual. And third, great expectation causes people to stretch and to grow. Let's take a look at how 3 different managers might communicate expectation.
We brought you in because we need to get some things shaking around here. And we're counting on you to get it done.
I brought you in here because we need some new business. Work the phones, get leads from marketing, whatever. Just drag some customers through that door.
I'd like to go over with you what our expectations are going to be the next few months, the kind of results that we'll be looking for. What we'd like to see are 4 brand new customers that are each going to take on at least 3 of our products. And we want to see them sold, billed, delivered by the end of the 3rd quarter.
Obviously, the 3rd manager was much more effective in communicating explicit expectations. Her expectation included quantity, quality, and time frame, the minimum requirements for clearly communicating the results you expect from your direct reports.
Just tell me what you need. Don't beat around the bush. Tell me exactly what you need, and I'll make it happen.
If we want outstanding performance, we must first expect outstanding performance. But we have to be careful because expectation can be dangerous. Which of the following statements would you say is most true? A. If 2 people are doing the same job, it's only fair to expect the same performance from both. B. The job description defines the proper expectation. C. Expectation is about the individual, not about the job description. Expectation is not a one-size-fits-all proposition. Expectation must always be tailored to the individual. As you're developing expectations for each of your direct reports, your first consideration must be, what is this person capable of? What knowledge, skill, or ability can this individual bring to the task at hand? And perhaps more importantly, what knowledge, skill, or ability does this person not have? As a manager, one of your roles is to match the ability with the task. An old adage is informative.
You can't teach a pig to sing. It wastes your time and annoys the pig.
Keep in the top of your mind, expectation must be congruent with capability. Having the right tools, that is, the right information and the right resources, is fundamental to productivity and job satisfaction. The people who answer to you need information and resources to do their job. One of your most important activities as a manager is to find out what they need and get it for them. Isidor Isaac Rabi came to America as an Austrian immigrant. From the public schools in New York's Lower East Side, he became one of America's most outstanding physicists, winning the Nobel Prize in 1944. When asked about his influences, Rabi often mentioned his mother, who each day asked him, "Did you ask any good questions today?" What's true for a Nobel laureate is also true for managers. Questions are important. Ask your staff these questions. What tools or materials would give you the ability to do your job better? Tell me about the obstacles you face trying to do your work. If you had information you don't have now, would that help you do your job better? What is that information? Is there training or education that would help you do your job better? What can I do to support your efforts? When your people know what they're responsible for accomplishing and they have the information and resources to get the job done, it's time for the third key management activity, which begins with measurement. If you expect people to produce specific results, you must measure their performance.
People have to be accountable. That means you have to count.
Without measurement, your expectations have no validity. They're little more than idle conversation. Simply put, measurement tells you whether or not your staff has done what you expected them to do. Isn't that something you'd like to know? Isn't that something your boss would like to know? What you measure and how you measure it will be unique to your particular work group. But keep this in mind. In every work group, there are a critical few activities that drive productivity. We call these critical activities key drivers. Identify the key drivers in your work group and then measure them relentlessly. If you manage the accounts receivable department, how long it takes to collect invoices is probably one of your key drivers. Another might be how long it takes to issue an invoice. If you manage a manufacturing process, you probably need to measure units produced and the defect rate on those units. Concentrate on measuring the few key drivers, and then, of course, apply all your energy to improving the performance in these areas.
Look, some stuff matters and some stuff doesn't. Get serious about the stuff that matters.
When measurement reveals outstanding performance, the smart manager will recognize that performance. In fact, we often say that management genius is the ability to see what's right with people. If you've been wandering around looking for problems, stop. Put away your red pencil and start looking for good or even great performance. There's a very compelling reason for doing this. You always get more of what you recognize. Reams of research and decade after decade of experience demonstrate that recognition increases the probability the recognized behavior will recur.
Well, duh. My manager pats me on the back for one thing but completely ignores something else. Which one do you think I'm gonna do?
Recognition brings out the best in each of us. It energizes and causes us to stretch and to grow. Bottom line, recognition can propel us to far greater productivity. It is one of the most powerful tools used by outstanding managers. The most public form of recognition is celebration. If you observe great managers, you'll notice that they're always on the lookout for something to celebrate. Some celebrations are planned, others erupt spontaneously. So don't wait for the annual awards banquet. Find something to celebrate every week, if not every day. When you do, you'll discover that as you celebrate, you achieve. In his book, On Caring, noted philosopher Milton Mayerhoff said, "To care for another person in the most significant sense is to help him grow and actualize himself. Caring is a process, a way of relating to someone that involves development." Great managers understand two important ideas about caring. First, caring is an activity, not an emotion. How a manager feels about a person has little to do with the responsibility of caring for that person in a managerial sense.
It's easy to say you care, but come on, show me. What are you doing to make my life better?
The second idea about caring. Because caring is primarily about helping people grow and develop, it is one of the most productive and pragmatic pursuits a manager can undertake. Think about it this way. At its core, business is about people completing activities. As our people grow and develop, they get better at completing activities. So in a very real sense, caring is a direct link to productivity. The question that great managers must ask is, how can I best help each of my people to grow and develop? Let's take a look at how different managers approach this task.
You know, this isn't too hard. If you pay attention to your people and what they're doing, it's pretty easy to see where they might need help. If you've got a guy who's having trouble writing memos, send him to a writing class at a local community college. Or if you have someone who's just basically disorganized, enroll them in a project management course. If you get your people the help that they need and they work at it, pretty soon you should have a well-rounded, capable employee.
I really think that you have to set your people up for success. And to me, that means figuring out what their abilities are, what they're naturally wired for, and then giving them a chance to do more of that. For example, if you have someone who catches on really quickly with computers, then give them a job that involves working with computers. See if you can get them interested in taking outside programming classes or networking classes. And, everybody can be great at something. And it's just a matter of discovering their strengths. And then you can really help them grow by putting them in a place where they can use their natural abilities.
The ideas of the managers you just heard from fall essentially into two camps. The first camp says, find out what's wrong and fix it. The second camp says, find out what's right and build on it. Great managers understand that people are most productive and most happy doing what they do best. People are most productive and most happy when they're using their natural abilities. Peter Drucker said it this way: to build on a person's strengths, that is, to enable him to do what he can do, will make him effective. To try to build on his weaknesses will be frustrating and stultifying. Here's the thing. Great achievement starts with great ability. In fact, great achievement demands great ability. The idea that anybody can do anything is just flat wrong. Let me tell you a story. When I was in junior high school, we had a track and field day every spring. On track and field day, every kid participated in a number of events. In my 7th grade year, one of my assigned events was the shot put. That was a bit of a problem. I wasn't what you would call skinny. I was downright scrawny. I could barely pick up the shot put, let alone heave it across the field. Let me tell you though, I was scrawny, but I was scrappy too. I practiced hard. The gym teacher worked with me on my technique, and day by day, I got better. It hurt, and I hated it, but I got better. On track and field day, I threw the shot put farther than I had ever thrown it. It was a personal best. And I came in dead last. 37th out of 37 boys in the shot put. I had worked hard, I had gotten better, and I had gone from poor to just a little less poor. That's what happens when you try to fix what's wrong with your people. They go from poor to poor. You work hard, they work hard, and you have very little to show for it. There's not much return on your investment. To help your people grow and develop, you must discover the inherent ability in each person. You must focus on applying and developing what they're naturally capable of. When the ability of the person matches the ability required for the task, great achievement is the predictable result.